Well, hello and happy Saturday. Cynthia Gordon representing Whole, women helping others live empowered. This Saturday, I just want to tell you that you're needed, that you're valuable, that you're loved. God, I wish we could get it. I wish every day we would wake up and look in the mirror and say, this world needs me, that I have something to offer. Wow. Let me read because I can get really started with my own personal affirmations. You are valuable to this world. Yes, you. It is so important that we realize who we are and that we make a difference in this world. Often in society, importance is put on what a person does, but I'm here to tell you, you have value even before you do anything. God made us in his image, and I promise you that's valuable. So before you became a good son or daughter, before you became a great basketball player or the songbird at church, before you became an amazing hairstylist, before you were a thorough janitor, you already had value. Your smile already brought joy to someone's heart. I hope that you can really hear me. We all need someone. We are better together. Proverbs 27:17, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. That's in the NIV, but in the King James Version it says it this way: iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Wow. We are better together. You are somebody else's together. You bring value to the people around you. And what's crazy is sometimes you can bring value to people you don't even know. There is someone who sits back and watches the way you do something, and then they try it that way. What is that phrase that says something about imitation is the highest form of flattery? There's someone imitating something you do, and you should be flattered. There is someone who waits for you to walk in the door. Now, my grandkids have gotten big on me, but it used to be that when they hit the door, especially the baby, he would run up and jump on me like Dino does on the Flintstones. Okay, I'm aging myself, if you're old enough to know what that looks like. But just seeing Grandma made his heart happy. Before I cooked him anything, before they got to the macaroni and cheese, just to see me. And I pray for all of us that we understand our value. Let me read because I'll just talk. We all play a part in the family or in the circle that we're in. We have many different roles, and yes, your gifts are unique and they do make you who you are. So I don't mean to say that your gifts aren't valuable, because certainly they are. But to the person who can't sing, understand, if you're clapping, if you're making music or praising God, it's still worship. Not all of us gonna sound like Whitney Houston. As I mentioned above, you are valuable even before you started doing anything. Now, when we talk about what it is that you can do, yes, your abilities are fueled by your love for the gifts that you have. And we can discuss it till we're blue in the face, who's the best basketball player. Of course, Some would say Michael Jordan. Some would say LeBron. Some would say Kobe. I would say Kobe all day. But guess what? Their mothers loved them before they picked up a basketball. They were valuable before they made room for the gifts that they have. Yeah. What I see is that even with all the differences that we may have, all the gifts that we bring to the table, I want you to understand that you are the gift, that you are valuable, that you are important. Because if we think that all we are is the basketball player or the singer or the hairstylist, we start thinking or may think that we are not valuable if we don't do those things, or if we used to do those things. We might think that we no longer have value. But I'm here to tell you, you have value. Are your gifts valuable? Certainly they are. And make room for them. Make room to use the gifts that God has given you to bless somebody else, to be a blessing everywhere you go. That's what makes it even more valuable. Got to get back on this page. You fit into a place in the heart of God before you even began your journey. Then you are born, and you then fit into a family that was awaiting you. And let me stop right here and say, no, not everyone is born into a perfect two-parent home or where they were planned or any of that. But I know this world needed every one of us. Every one of us. Let's think about it. It's too many people out there having sex and not having babies to say that the babies that do make it here were not a part of God's perfect plan. Thank you, Lord. And let me just say this. For those that may have been adopted, that while you may not be with the family that gave birth to you, you completed a family who wanted you. So please don't get caught up. And I have an adopted sister, and I share with her all the time. We chose you. You were chosen. So please don't wrap any stigma around adoption, because you might have one up on those of us that were just birthed into a family. God, I thank you for it all. Really and truly, we're all a part of his master plan. Wow, we are all a part of his master plan. And you know what? I have 4 sons. Honestly, me and my husband only sat down and planned one of them. But the love that I have for all of them is immeasurable. It has nothing to do with your plans. Jeremiah 29:11 says, God knows the plans that he has toward us all. What a wonderful feeling to know that, and to really let that resonate with you. You were a part of a plan, no matter if your parents planned you or not. God's plan. And Lord, I just want to be a part of his plan. Lord, keep me on the roll. God, I thank you. And don't be tricked by the devil, who might make you think that because you weren't planned or because you were adopted, that your life is less meaning. Because that is a lie from the pit of hell. You completed the life of those around you. Okay, I got this gray hair that's really bugging me. That's so unruly. I'm sorry. Matthew 10:29 through 31. Fear not, therefore, you are more value than many sparrows. Likewise, in Luke that records this, Jesus telling his disciples, Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? And not one of them it is forgotten by God. Why, even the hairs on your head are all numbered. I'm going to read that again because that just, wow. Fear not, therefore, you are more value. You are of more value than many sparrows. Likewise, Luke records Jesus telling his disciples, are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? And not one of them is forgotten by God. Why, even the hairs of your head are all numbered. I need this to sink in. I really do. Luke records that 5 sparrows were sold for 2 pennies, and that's in Luke 12:6. This meant the buyer received the 5th sparrow for free because 1 sparrow had no value. Now imagine if, with all the things going on in this world at any given time, forget at any given time, all the things going on in this world right now, Omicron and its new cousin B2 or B4, B something, Delta was before that, whatever name you put to it, shootings and all the stuff, just everything going on in this world. But yet, not a single sparrow hits the ground that God doesn't know about. He says he's numbered the hairs on our head. You see how much hair I got on my head? And I don't care how much you got on yours. What love does God have for you that he says he's numbered? The hairs on your head is numbered. God, I thank you. God, I thank you. Now, this should make you think, make 2 things stand out for you. First and foremost, your value in man's eye and their value in God's eye. 2 different spectrums. I don't care if man thinks you're good or not. The love and the value that God places on who you are. Wake up and just look at yourself and say, but God said, I'm valued. God says, more than a conqueror. Second thing that I find so awesome is God knows everything about me, you, and not just the you that you're posting, not just the you that shows up in church on Sunday, not just the you that has whatever skills you may have. God, he knows the real you. Not just a church you, not even just a party you, but he knows all of you, beloved. And he loves you. And he called you valuable. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And he didn't just say that in Jeremiah. He wasn't just talking then, because his word says he's no respecter of person. That word is for me and for you. That before we were even formed, he knew us. And he found value in us. He decided for us to make it here on earth. I pray that we find value in ourselves, that we try to find value in those around us, that we love and value people, no matter the president or the janitor. Let me tell you something. When the general manager didn't come to work, I didn't miss him at all. But if my janitor that serviced my office building was gone for a day or 2, okay, let's be serious. We kind of spoiled. Let him be gone for 1 day. We looking for him. So no matter your job, if you will, understand that you are valued by someone. Operate in that value. See yourself as valuable. It's so imperative that we have that value system in place for ourselves because we operate in it. The enemy uses it against us when we don't operate in our value, that when we don't operate in our worth. We're busy finding out how much something costs all the time, but not understanding its value. There's no amount of money you can place on the value of your child, of the people that you love. And when you lose a loved one, no money can bring them back. We have got to place value on those around us and treat each person as if they are valuable, because they are, starting with ourselves. Again, I say it all the time, we are usually harder on ourselves than we are on most people. And we need to give ourselves some freedom that even if you think you made a mistake or a misstep, correct what you can, correct what you will, pray to God and ask for his help, and forgive yourself. Know that you are still valuable. And guess what? Most things and mistakes that we made, they're lessons learned. We don't have to let them take us down or keep us in bondage. So I pray this day and every day that you see yourself as valuable, is that you take that value and share it. Every gift that God has given to you, he did give it to you for you to give it away. So guess what? If you got an awesome voice, sing and let somebody hear it. Make somebody's day. If it's just a smile, you have no idea how that smile can lift and brighten a whole room. It makes a difference. See yourself as valuable. Treat yourself as if you're valuable. Don't forget self-care. Don't forget self-care. Everybody, men, women, go to the doctor. Get your checkups. Don't be surprised by anything that's been going on in your body for 3-4 years because you haven't been to a doctor. Check on you. You mean so much to so many. Go check yourself out. From the rooter to the tutor. Make sure everything's working. And if you are, like myself, of some age, experienced, definitely go and get those checkups. They're not all comfortable, but they can save your life. That's all I got today. You are valuable and you are loved by God and by me. Have a happy Saturday on purpose. I love you.